Hello there, this is Business Center and of course it's Wednesday. My name is Calvin Nyakundi. Now there are so many processes that go around the coffee for it to end up in your cup. It is not just a boost of energy, but also a work of love, life, and dedication. Now, we all know for coffee to get the authentic taste, it has to be roasted. So what is roasting for coffee? Coffee roasting is the process by which the aromatic qualities of coffee beans are developed at high temperatures. Roasted coffee beans can then be ground and brewed with water to make coffee drinks. Coffee roasting begins with green coffee beans, which themselves have been processed and dried. Today we shall be looking at roasting of coffee, how to know the difference between the good and bad quality coffee and what makes the coffee good quality. We were fortunate enough to visit Connect Coffee Roasting Chambers right here in Westlands, and we shall be talking about that next. But first, here's the question of the day. Now, what is the importance of coffee roasting? Continue to answer to this, and as we continue with the show, tell us where you're watching us from, and we will read your comments as we continue with the show. But first, let us go to Connect Coffee and see how this process is done. Welcome back, and I had told you earlier we're talking about coffee roasting, and we are at Connect Coffee today, and we are going to be looking at the roasting chambers, and today we are here with Lydia. Come with me. Lydia, niaje? Leo mimi ni mgeni wako. Umenikaribisha? All right then, guys, we are going to be talking about the roasting process, and we want to look at how they make sure that these coffee beans are the ones that come to your table. All right, Lydia, so we are at the roasting chambers. What happens here generally? Just explain to us.
So this is the magic room. So this is where we roast our coffee. The coffee that we take, those are the cappuccino, the latte, the espresso. So before, for you to take that, so this we call it the magic room. Being the magic room, magic is the roasting. That is the magic. So we roast our coffee here. As you can see, we have our green beans. I don't know if you are familiar with green beans.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar, but continue. I'm learning. Okay. I'm learning.
So we get our green beans. Then, as you can see here, we have a very big machine. This we call it our commercial roaster. Right. So we roast our coffee here that you later take as cappuccino, espresso, latte, yeah, all that come from here. So
this is where you decide the coffee that will go to the shop and the one that will go to the maybe restaurant. Is this the place that decides, or are there other places that really make the decision?
No. This is where we decide. As you can see, in our shop or in our roastery, we have two blends of coffee. We have our medium roast. We call it Juliet. You know the Juliet from the movie. We also have Romeo. So it's the lady and the guy. From here, you are able now, it's your choice. Do you want the lady or you want the guy? The guy. Yeah, okay. For the guy, it's the dark medium roast. Dark. And then for the Juliet, it's the medium roast. So it's a bit light.
All right.
Yes.
All right, so guys, you can see we are learning today. We have the magic room where we have the Juliet and Romeo. The Romeo is a little bit dark and the Juliet is a little bit light. So I'm very curious about this. Now, let us look at this equipment right here. I'm seeing beans inside. How do you make sure that you decide between the beans that are from the sack now? Yes. This particular beans, do they undergo the same roasting process? Do they come out the same, or there are some that don't come out the way you expect them to come out?
In our case here, they come out the way we want them to come out. We have something we call the roasting profile. In our case, for you to touch the beans, the beans are so sensitive. Right. It's something like you can't come in this room if you have a strong perfume.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So, or you cannot use something like sanitizer if you are going to touch the beans, because the minute you do that, your coffee will taste like sanitizer, or it will taste like if you eat something like
Garlic.
Yeah, your coffee will
Or
taste
onions.
like, yes, it will taste like garlic. As you can see, I have gloves on. So when I'm touching the coffee, I have to have my gloves on, because you never know what I've touched outside there. So yeah, and us dealing with specialty coffee, we want to give our customer the best coffee. Yes.
All right.
So as I was saying, we have a roasting profile. The reason as to why we use a roasting profile is because we want our coffee to be the same always. Yeah, like if yesterday you took coffee from Connect Coffee, then we want you, like in the next like 4 weeks when you come back, you'll still take the same coffee, tasting the same way. So our roasting profile, we are able to trace, or we are able to have the same coffee, something uniform all the time.
So let me jump in and try and start things up kidogo too.
Yeah.
Now, for example, you've roasted the beans, and someone made the maybe made certain a wrongdoing of roasting, and then the process that came out tasted like soap. Or have you ever had any situation like that before?
Not really. No.
Okay.
We are very, when it comes to this place, we are very serious about it. I think this is the place that when you enter, we look at everything. I know maybe right now we don't have our mask on, but we are supposed to be having our mask on all the time. Yeah.
All right. So, guys, as you've heard, this process is very, very intense. This is the magic room. It's the one that decides what will go into people's coffee and stomachs eventually. So now, Lydia, can we put this on? Can we put this on?
Yes.
Can we put it on? I would like to see, and our viewers to see what really happens.
Right now I can just put it on.
Just put it on.
Okay.
Just put it on.
So this is our on button. So the machine is on. Maybe I can explain just a little bit about the machine. So as you can see, in every machine there is always an on button and an off button.
Right.
So in our case, this is our on button. Our machine uses both electricity and gas. So kiberiti. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have this part, the lighter, the kiberiti. I know the gas you use at home, use a kiberiti. In this case, it's automatic. So just for now, I won't do it because even the gas is not on. We also have our timer. In this case, as you can see on our roasting profile, we record as you are roasting. We always record after every 30 seconds because we want to know what is happening to our coffee.
All right.
Yeah. So this machine has its own timer. You don't have to use a watch or your phone or anything. We also have the drum rotation. Like when you are roasting, we need the coffee like to rotate because we don't want it to stay at the same place because it will burn. So the rotation of the drum depends on what you are roasting. As I had told you, we have two blends. That is, we have the Romeo and the Juliet. So Juliet take lesser time when you are roasting, so we need the drum to be a bit fast. Then Romeo takes a bit more time, so we need the drum to be a bit slow. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That's really interesting to know about the Juliet and Romeo. Yes. All right, now we can move because as we can see this side, we have interesting equipments here. Yes. I would really like to know what happens here because all this, it seems like one process all through. I don't know if it goes up to there. Yes. So kindly take us through this.
So in this case, what happens is, as you can see up here, we have some samples. So after we go to the auction, we get some samples. After we come with the samples, the process starts on this side. So we take the moisture content of the beans. Yeah, we want to know the moisture of the beans. After that, we look at the size of the bean. after we've looked at the size of the bean, since we are just using, like, we're taking just little sample, we cannot use this big machine. We use this small machine. So this big machine and this one, they are the same thing. It's just like this is the mother and this is the child.
So they do the same thing?
They do the same thing. It's just that this we use a lot, a high capacity, if I can say, a lot of coffee.
Okay.
And as for this one, we use little coffee, if I may say that. So after we take the beans, we use the sample roaster, as you can see. It's called the sample roaster. Yeah, because it's just beans kiasi, if I may say that. After roasting our beans, maybe you don't want to cup, but in our case, we always cup. Cupping, it's about evaluating the coffee. It's where like slapping. You know, when you're taking coffee, I know there's that kids do something that we don't like. Yes. Yeah, that is, we call it, it's like the slapping of the coffee, but you don't swallow the coffee, you spit the coffee. And after that, now maybe we want to buy the coffee, or maybe you'd like me to pack you a little coffee, 200 grams and 100 grams, which is ground, like to medium size. Yes.
Or like these particles here?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Now that's where we use the grinder. This is our grinder. You cannot carry that coffee when it's open. So we have the sealer, the sealing machine. Yeah, this is where you seal the machine. They seal the coffee. Then weighing, we use this machine
to weigh the amount, the 200 grams, the 500 grams, the 1 kilogram.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's a process.
It's a process.
It starts on this side and then you come on this side.
All right. So let us move to the side that she told us we start from, because now the side that we start from is the most important, where we have them picking the beans from the auctions, and then now we have from the auction they come here and they choose the ones that they are going to put on the grinder and also on the roaster. All right. Okay, let us move to the side where they start from. All right, to this side where you said is the most crucial, right? Yes. Now, what happens to this on this side?
So what happens on this side is where we keep our sample, the samples that we get from the auction. So after we get them, we don't throw them away. So for reference, maybe we might need them later on. So we put them on this side. As you can see here, we also do exports. We have some, I think it's written shipment. So we send this sample to our potential clients. Maybe they would like also to do what we do here after we get our samples.
All right.
They want to cup, they want to evaluate the coffee, how is the aroma, how is the acidity of the coffee, the body of the coffee. So we also remain with a sample of the same.
Yourself.
Yes.
Okay. So, and I can see something like this written 25 1548. Now over 1548. What does this mean?
So this means 25 means that is the sale. Yeah, the auction sale 25. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And how do you decide the ones now that you'll keep for yourselves? Because I know there are very many numbers in the auction, maybe.
Yeah.
So how do you decide on this?
So if it's sale 25, we get some samples from the auction. Maybe we can get samples of the same, like maybe 10. So after we come with them here, it's the process that I was telling you. We have a moisture meter. Yeah, a very advanced one.
All right.
Yes. We have a moisture meter. So we look at the moisture content of the coffee, because we want to know if this coffee has the right moisture content, which is supposed to be between 11 to 12%. Yeah. The next step is we have some screens. They are up there. I don't know.
Where are they? The screens?
Yes. We have screens. Yes.
This one's here?
No, these ones.
These ones,
yes.
the ones on the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, so this is the one that chooses the beans?
No. This is like something like this one. We don't use that anymore.
Okay.
So we use this. Yeah.
Okay. Modern.
Yeah, a modern one. Yes. So after we get the beans, screen 18, it's always the double A. Yeah, the best coffee. Connector coffee, we deal with the best coffee, so we use double A.
I'm very curious. You've
Yeah.
said screen 18.
Yes.
All right. Explain to us screen 18.
So
I would really like to know more about that. I know even the audience would like to know.
So we have different grades of coffee. We have the AA, which is the best coffee. We have the AB. We have the PB, the C. So every grade of coffee has its own screen. So why we use the screens is because, like for us, since we deal with specialty coffee, we want to make sure if the coffee that we've bought, which is supposed to be around 85 and above plus, yeah, we want to make sure that it's the right coffee. Yeah, it's the right grade. So we must screen the coffee. Yeah, maybe I'll show you later how to do the screening.
The screening.
Yeah, there's a lot of dancing. Yes.
All right.
Yes, we are screening the coffee. So the next process after we have done the moisture content, the screening, now we move to this side.
Okay.
Yeah, now I had explained about this side.
Yeah.
So after you've done all that, roasting, and then you grind your coffee, the cupping, I explained about the slapping and a lot of spitting. Now, that is after you've done the samples that you got around 10,
Yes.
you do the cupping, all of them. From that, you are able to evaluate the coffee in terms of the acidity, the body, the aroma, the aftertaste of the coffee. That's when now we come to this part of the coffee.
All right.
Yeah. So we go now, like if
I'm curious.
Yes.
Continue.
Yes.
Continue. I think this picks something from there.
If from the cell 25, we've loved like 15, that the 1548, the example, the one that we have here, that's what we buy, the one that we've loved. And that's what now most of the time, like you'll find, right now we have around 2 bags.
2 bags?
Yeah, because the coffee consumption these days is very high. Yeah, but we have our own store where we keep our coffee. Here we only put around 10 to 5 bags or something of the sort. Then if we've finished with that, then we bring some more in, like in some like 30 minutes you'll see some coming in. Yeah.
Okay.
Now from that, now that's where we use the big machine, because we've already tested on our side, we've already tested the coffee, and we've loved every characteristics that we want from the coffee. Now that's when we roast the coffee, and that's what we sell to the customer.
All
the
right.
best coffee.
Okay. So now, because we've come to this side, show me how how do you do the sorting now?
The sorting of the coffee.
Yeah, the beans.
The beans. So I take around 20 grams of coffee. Now maybe. Yeah,
we can share, and then I can also do it so that we see.
Let me just say that it's around 20. So from the 20, we sort for defects. If the defects is more than 5%, now that to us that is not the right coffee that we want. That is not the quality of coffee that we want. So first of all, you have to, we call it the pre-sorting before you roast. Yeah, pre-sorting for the defects. At the store, we also do something we call color sorting before bringing the coffee here. So we color sort. When it comes here, we do pre-sorting. After roasting, we do post-sorting. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a really tedious process.
Yes.
So, for example, these beans,
Yes.
I would like to know now. Can all this go to the roasting chamber? Can all this go to this machine?
All this? No, you cannot go. It cannot go to this machine because there are some defects that we don't want. A bean that has a characteristic that is not.
Show us.
Yeah.
Can you show us some of the defects of one, maybe the one that you can say cannot be used?
Okay, this being a specialty coffee, sometimes it's
Like
hard.
this one?
Sometimes yes.
The one that is maybe not fully...
Yes, we have an example of this. It looks a bit like it's broken. Yes.
So as you can see, we have a bean that is not really supposed to be the way the other beans are.
Yes.
Like maybe if you look at this one is a bit okay.
Yes, it's okay.
This one
it's
is
just
fine.
that it has a silver skin. In coffee, there's something we call silver skin, which it's okay. Yes.
Okay.
But mostly in specialty coffee, the grade AA, you find very less defects. Yeah. Because it's this specialty.
So this is grade A.
Yeah, this is grade A. We only deal with the best. Yes.
So in the event, maybe you've bought the coffee and then you find most, like half of the sack has defects. What do you do?
In our case, that is very rare to find, because before we buy the coffee, we get the sample, and for a sample, it's just coffee that is taken from the 150 bags. Like in every 150 bags, there's that small portion which is taken from it. So it's rare to find coffee that is like half.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So as we've seen, this is where they sort the beans, and then now after this is going to go to the roaster. Now from this, now we're going to look at them in the roaster and how they look, because I remember this color is not the same one that we've seen in the roaster before. So let us go to the roaster and see how they look and if they sort them after they are roasted. And now to the roaster, and Lydia, just show us, because I can see the color here is different from what we saw just back here. Now explain to us what happens here.
So here, as I had explained, this is our roasting machine. So we've roasted coffee. This is our medium dark roast. That is the Romeo. So when the beans are green, we do something called pre-sorting, as it said. Now in here we do something called post-sorting. So when the beans are green, sometimes you cannot see some defects. So, but when you've roasted them, you can see them. For example, we have some defects we call quickers. You can see quicker. If you compare that to this, they have different colors. You cannot see that.
Yeah.
Or yes, you can see it when it is green, but it's more visible when it's roasted. So that's why we do post-sorting. Also, there are some like the shells. Here.
Oh, like this one looks like a shell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also have.
It's a bit empty.
Yeah.
Inside.
Yes. In shell, there's also something called ear. The bean itself, it's usually called grade E. It's very big. It's like an elephant. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you roast it, it's very easy for you to see it. So that's why we do post-sorting. Yes.
So after you roast, there is also now post-sorting.
Yes.
That now from the post-sorting of after the roasting, now what happens from there? Now it's when you take them to the grinder.
Yeah, what happens after this, we have food grade containers. We have them there. It's like a container where we put the coffee. So we first package them in our packages. That is, if I've roasted Romeo, I package in the Romeo bag or the Juliet bag. Then we put them in the food grade containers for them to degas. Yes.
Okay. And now I'm curious to know, these ones that have defects after the roast, what do you usually do with them? Do you throw them away, or you use them to do other things? And
no, we don't throw away coffee. There's no bad coffee, as you have heard. But in our case, we don't use them like to serve our customers or sell to other restaurants. We have an academy. So the students, we give it to the students so that they can practice, like, yes. But we have 2 grinders at the academy also. There's the good coffee that we give them to drink, like this one. And then we have the other grinder that we put the defects for them. Just use as much as you can. Yes, yes. So that they can practice using, like, to do the latte arts. Yeah.
All right, guys, this is the final point of roasting of the coffee beans, and this is where they also do the final sorting of the beans, and then that is when they can be put in sachets and also the grinder. But I think you can show us how this machine is put on again, because at least we can now have the sound kidogo, and then now we see how to do it.
Okay. So We have an agitator, this. And we have the sponge.
All right. So this is like now the roasting process.
Yes.
This is the roasting.
Yes.
So is there heat that comes from?
No. Actually, I don't know. Just okay. Let me show you. So I just want you to put your hand, not to touch, but put. Oh, it's a fan.
Wow, guys. So it's not even hot.
Yes.
It's actually cold. Ah, okay.
Yes.
So explain to me this science, because I don't understand. You know, when you hear roasting, you know it's hot.
So what happens is, when the coffee is coming out of this machine, it's very hot. And if you just put it here and then let it to settle, the coffee will continue like roasting, because this is metal. So this is an agitator. We want the coffee to move around and then there is fan to cool it down. Yes. Okay. Yes.
All right then, guys, I've had so much fun. I feel like even not going to the studio again. I've just had so much fun here today with Lydia. She has been explaining to us the whole process of roasting coffee beans, and I hope you've learnt a lot and you've really known now what goes into the process, because many a times you go to restaurants, you're served with coffee, you're given a sachet to go with home from the supermarket, and you don't really know what the process is that goes through the beans in order to make them to enter the sachets and put in on the shelves of supermarkets and shops. But now we've seen what really happens. I hope you've had so much fun, but we have to go to the innovations and agri-facts. We have to finish the show, sadly, but I'm going to bring you back with innovations and agri-facts. This is Business Center.